Hey folks, this is an interview from Startupradio, your startup podcast and YouTube blog from Germany in the heart of Europe here in Frankfurt. I'm right now at Eurofinance Tech and you'll soon see one of the interviews we recorded here. Without sponsors, something like this would not be possible. Therefore, thank you to all the sponsors, startups.observer. Note the S, it's startups.observer, the online dating for startups, corporates, and investors, as well as Slack. Support for this podcast and the following message comes from Slack. For companies all over the world, from the very small to the very large, Slack is where work happens. Create a team in minutes and get everyone on board. Slack gives you one manageable space in which to gather all the people you need to talk to, all the projects you need to keep tabs on, and with more than 1,000 apps seamlessly integrating with Slack, all the tools you need to get things done. Find out more at slack.com. Thanks for your support and enjoy the video. Hello and welcome everybody. This is Jörn from Startupradio. Today I'm at Eurofinance Tech. As you can hear from the sounds in the background, I have my first guest here and I would like to welcome you, Michael.
Hello, thank you. Thanks
And
for invitation.
you are the co-founder of a startup, if I'm right.
Yes, I'm co-founder and CFO of RoboSig. It's an American-based company which sits in Chicago.
And can you tell our listeners a little bit about what RoboSig actually does? Because if you don't have any background, it sounds like a singing robot.
Okay, of course. We have developed an fully automatic algorithm that enables financial institutions to trade foreign exchange in a professional way. And we want to make money with the algorithm.
And for me, this is really interesting because it's like you're really actually on the capital markets. And what's also interesting for me is we talked a little bit about before. So you're not from Germany, and this is also not what you originally studied, like dealing on capital markets. Can we go a little bit into that?
Yes, that's right. I'm from Austria. I think you can hear it. I'm not a native speaker from America. And my profession is, my background is on the one hand a technical background, and on the other hand it's a legal background. I studied law, commercial law in Austria, and then I worked in several banks, and so I have a financial background as well. I managed risk in several banks, and then I saw a very interesting thing, and therefore this is why I'm here and why I'm trading FX.
And as you told us, as you told me before, actually it's co-founded like you're here, one co-founder, and the other one is not just around the corner. He's in Chicago, right?
Correct. I'm based in Austria, and the other co-founder, my partner Richard Preschan, is based in Chicago. He's a professional FX trader, and he lives in Chicago. And also, some of the employees and programmers are based in Chicago.
And how this construct actually start? Because from what I can see, if you plan a company on scratch, it's like, okay, he will be here and he will be there, but I would never see a company set up between Austria and Chicago.
Yeah. The co-founder Richard lived in Chicago for around about 20 years, and then he decided to come back to Austria. And if he was here, we decided to found a new company. It's RoboSig in Chicago, and therefore he went back with his family to Chicago to grow up the company.
So is it true that you're legally domiciled here in Europe?
Pardon?
You're domiciled, your headquarters is here in Europe?
No, the headquarter is in Chicago.
Ah, okay, so you're more or less an American company.
Yes, of course. We are Chicago-based, and we are financed from Silicon Valley, and headquarter is, and the main business comes from Chicago.
So let's talk a little bit about what your actual main business is. And then I think our viewers would be curious about how you got money from Silicon Valley, right?
Okay. Our main business, as I mentioned before, is trading foreign exchange in a special way. Therefore, we have developed an algorithm, and this is a very, very interesting thing because it's a special style to trade FX. We are trading a product that does not exist on the front end. On the back end, we have a trading vehicle, and this is what we are using to make money. And on the front end, we only delivering signals to the broker.
So that means to get a little bit out of the banking speech, that means the front end is usually where the trading is taking place, and the back end is where usually there's like taxes, there's the account keeping. In the middle office, there's compliance, clearing, and settlement, and stuff like this. So
the back end means that we have our own software in the background, and this is the trading machine, and this is the algo. And this algo produces signals, and these signals are then delivered to the broker, and then you can execute the signals. That's it.
ich glaube, Sie sind durch mit der Aussage. Okay, weiter. Um, what what's interesting for me here is, so basically you give signals to professional traders in FX markets. We should tell our listeners who are not familiar with finance. FX markets refers to the trading of currency, but not real notes, coins changing hands. It's rather just between accounts, if I may say so. And basically, the interesting thing about it is there's no absolute value. If you're a European investor, it's important for you how all the currencies move against the euro. If you're an American investor, it's more interesting to get really the value in US dollars. It's not like in the market that you can say, okay, this one is equities. They're worth 50 euros or $50, but you always have to say it in relative terms. This currency is worth so much in terms of another currency. So it's a very relative system, and it's a very interesting market. It runs 24 hours, 365 days a week. There's always someone on. There's always digital and phone trading still going on, and there are actually trades taking place way instantly. Money changes hands. Like I said, it's digital, and there's some forward agreements, some derivatives where you have the actual settlement of the claim maybe in years. So that is what I would give to all the viewers. You would like to add something?
No. You're absolutely correct. We are also trading 24 hours a day. Not we, our algo is trading 24 hours a day and 5 days a week. And yes, you are completely right.
Awesome. And I've tried to poke you a little bit when we discussed up front, and you told me, "Oh, I'm not going to tell you a lot about what we actually do." So here for the question, what do you actually do?
Okay, we are trading the G7 currencies, and that's very important. We do not trade any exotic currencies, and we are acting in the most liquid market in the world. 5.1 trillion US dollar each day are traded in the FX market. We're trading spot, no forward or anything else, and there is a very huge liquidity in the market, and that enables us to produce stable returns for our investors.
And G7, we may tell our viewers, refers to the seven big currencies like US dollars, Canadian dollar.
Correct. G7 are the most liquid currencies in the world. It's
Euro is in?
Of course, Euro is in, and also the Kiwi, New Zealand dollar, the Aussie
dollar?
the Canadian dollar, the US dollar, the British pound, and the Japanese yen.
Okay, now we got this settled. Awesome. So you're not going to tell us a lot what the company actually does. We assume it's profitable, otherwise you would not be here and no clients would be there. You have actual clients for your startup?
Yes, of course. We are very proud to have one of the biggest clients that you can wish in the financial market. On the one hand, it's a very huge bank in New York, and on the other hand, it's a very big market maker on the New York Stock Exchange, which are using our algorithm to trade and to make profit. And we are going to come on a very huge FX platform in the first quarter of 2018.
Congratulations for that. Now to our listeners who are now sitting there, have some awesome idea. How do you get money from Silicon Valley?
Oh, yes. How do we get money from Silicon Valley? We had some contacts. My co-founder has a contact to Silicon Valley, and he traveled to Silicon Valley and spoke with them and told them about our strategy and the opportunity and the possibility we have. And they were very happy with the strategy, and they decided to introduce us to their investors. And so we got around about 2 million from our VCs in Silicon Valley.
Great. That is really awesome. So it comes down to personal contact. Unfortunately, if there's an investor out there, would you right now be open for investments?
Yes, if there is an investor and is interested what we do, we are still open for investors if he helps us to grow up the business in Europe.
Great. Um, one last note. Love Chicago. Awesome deep dish pizza. Thank you very much.
Thank you.